is Ellie Malmin, and I am from Lash-by-Lash-Academy.com. And I decided to do this particular video because so many people have the number one question about lashes is, will it cause lash damage? So I'm doing this video not only for the benefit of those of you that want to wear extensions, but those of you that are learning to do eyelash extensions. So does it cause eyelash damage? I'm going to have to say yes, it does if it is not applied properly. And that is a lot of misconceptions. Just when the fact of eyelashes coming out on the market about 10 years ago, many people asked the question, how long do eyelashes actually last? And the answer was given 2 to 3 months. Well, we know that that is not true, that you have to come for fills or inlays or refills or touch-ups every 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm going to explain why in just a minute. But what's also important, does it cause lash damage? We're also going to go over that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw you a little picture to talk about it. We're going to pretend like this is our lash line. Of course, when we do eyelash extensions, we have our eyes closed. But for the sake of this, I'm just doing your lash line. And what you do is you have about 150 follicles coming out of your lash line. Now, the follicles are where your lashes grow from. And as you can see, I am doing lashes crisscross, crossways, because that is how your lashes grow. If you ever took a picture of your lashes, you're going to see them growing in all different types of angles. So now what we want to talk about is the 3 stages of lashes. You have a baby lash, which is right about there. You have a teenager, and you have an adult hair. 3 different stages that are growing. So your baby stage is called anagen, your teenage stage is called catagen, and your adult stage is called telogen. So this is basically the cycle of life that we're talking about. It starts growing in a baby, it grows up to be a teenager, and then it grows up to be an adult, and it sheds off. So when we were talking about lashes lasting for 2 to 3 months, of course, your cycle of life from the time it's a baby to where it grows to an adult and sheds off is a 3-month cycle. So we don't want to use those baby hairs when we're doing lash extensions. We want to do and use the teenagers, okay? Well, there's a problem. We don't know when it became a teen, okay? If you look at a teenager, we don't know when it became, or she or he became a teen. So it could have already been a teenager at its full length of life and turned into an adult. Now, in teenagers, in this group of lashes, you only have something as 20%. Okay, so if you took 20% of every teenager, we're equaling about 30 lashes. That's not enough to give you a full set. So we must grab every adult and every teenager in your lash line and put an extension on. So an eyelash extension is actually an extension of your own hair. Well, this is where the problem comes in. If you do not have somebody that is really experienced, she's going to take a glomp of glue and glue it right here with the extension, taking all these hairs, and they're going to have a tug of war. So what your lash artist must do is she must isolate. When I mean isolate, she must take her tweezers and actually isolate all these hairs away with her tweezers. So in other words, her tweezers is going to be in here isolating, and then she can take an extension and put on an extension and make your lash longer without causing all this havoc here. So when we attach Lash-by-Lash and we are actually isolating with our tweezers, we're getting Lash-by-Lash on here. Well, if we have spaces and we're attaching Lash-by-Lash, you're also going to see those spaces and they're going to be more emphasized. So when we take Lash-by-Lash, that's called classic eyelash extensions. So now we have a new technique called volume lashes, and you'll hear it called Hollywood lash, volume lash, American volume, Russian volume. What that is where we take and we make a bundle of lashes anywhere from, I would say, 2 to 6, but it's closer to the base here when we make them, and they fan out, but it's still separated away and isolated one single lash, and that's called volume lashes. But the thing to remember with volume, if you go to anybody with volume, the hair size, and I'm just gonna magically erase this, the hair size of a volume lash is basically 0.7 millimeters. A lash extension is anywhere from a 0.10 to a 0.25 in diameter, and that's one lash extension, where your volume is a 0.07. So let's say if we have a volume, we make these, and what we're doing is we're putting several lashes together to create the volume with one base. And I know this does not look pretty, but basically that base of the 07 will calculate to about a 0.15 in classic. So it's not causing as much weight. So let's talk about weight. Let's pretend this is a silk blouse, okay? Here's a silk blouse. And we're going to weigh this silk blouse. And we're going to take a polyester blouse, okay? Polyester blouse. Let's see if I can get this in the camera for you. And this is polyester, and I'm going to abbreviate it, polyester. Okay, you have the same size. You have a size 8 in silk, and you have a size 8 in polyester. If you're taking your conventional classic lashes, they're going to weigh much more than your mink or silk lashes. These are all man-made, but your silk is going to weigh less than your other classic lash. So when you're putting multiples of your 07s on, they're going to weigh less than your classic 1.5s. So this is going to cause less stress and damage or weight on a lash, and you're going to use less adhesive. Okay, now that we understand the lash life cycle and we understand how not to have lash damage occurring on our lashes through extensions, what is really important for those of you who wear eyelash extensions is keeping them clean. And we don't think about that. We wash our hair every single day, every other day, but for our lashes, we don't. And why do you think we have eyelashes? It's because God made these lashes to protect our eyes from the dirt, from the debris, from everything getting in and irritating our eyes. So now that we have extensions on, we catch more of everything flying around the air. So it's extremely important that you keep your lashes completely clean. So every night, just like you wash the hair on your head, you must cleanse your lashes. If they're done properly, then you can brush through them with a mascara spoolie wand, and there should not be any tangles. We can use lint-free applicators, and we can use eyelash shampoo. We can use face washes. So we're going to flash a couple of these products on the screen for you to see what you can use. And basically what you want to do is just brush down on your lashes, up with your lashes, and just get your little applicators into the lash line. You want to make sure when you dry your lashes that you just take a Kleenex and go up. One of the biggest problems I find in cleaning lashes, eye makeup around the lash line, is people use things with fuzz on them. I don't want to say you shouldn't use like cotton swabs or Q-tips, but those tiny little hairs can get into the lash line and cause a problem. The other thing that can cause a problem is our animals. Yes, our cats, our dogs that have these hairs that we can't see. We might get one little thing entwined into that lash line, and then we're like, I feel something in my lashes. So just be careful with those type of things. You want to stay away from waterproof mascara. These lash extensions should behave and act like natural lashes because they are an extension of your own eyelash. They should be able to be combed and just be moved around like real hair. So I hope you got something out of this video. Please email me, contact me if you have any other questions. Thank you.